Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the weekly twin astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. The energy is a little bit touchy, it's a little bit confusing. It was very heavy and murky when it comes to some emotions on the weekend. We had the moon in Pisces. We do have a very big week ahead of cosmic energies. We do have Chiron going retrograde tomorrow. We also have Mercury entering into Leo tomorrow. We are entering into Leo season, and so all of these Cancer energies, as we close out Cancer season, when we hit that 29-degree mark, things get a little bit confusing. Venus just went into Cancer, and so there was a lot of darkness when it comes to the dark side, the deep side of these connections that has been emerging over the last several days. I was in contact with several divine feminines over the weekend, and we were all in some very murky, heavy emotions. It was very dense. It was a lot of heaviness is all I gotta say. And so I think a lot of secrets have recently been revealed when it comes to these connections, when it comes to these cosmic energies. And we're in store for another week asking us to dive deep into the shadow side of our unconscious mind. And so whatever's coming forward this weekend, Leo, the sun, is all about profound illuminations. And if we approach these energies correctly, we can really benefit when it comes to these twin soul connections. And so I think the biggest element that we're being asked to work with is, do you actually know yourself? Are you anchored in your truth? Are you anchored in your light? And have you released any fear? Because fear is the illusion that will fool us all. And as simple as it sounds, I know it's easier said than done. And so at the beginning of the week, I think get ready for some very challenging energies. We're all kind of learning as we go, guys. And I feel this pressure, this pressurized energy surrounding many of the divine masculines as they're being asked to remember. And so all of these dark realms of consciousness are coming up. I know there's been a lot of telepathy in dream space within the chakra bodies, and I feel the masculine is deep within this inner world. And now with Mercury in Cancer, this is opening up this highly active telepathic connection once again on the unconscious level, I feel, for many of the divine masculines. And so a lot of the feminines are very much aware of the shared dreams, the telepathy, and all of these heightened experiences. And so I think emotions are definitely running on high. We are being asked to try a different approach when it comes to these connections, to really be mindful of our thoughts and our mental intent, and to open up the heart, on that deep innermost level in order to call in the counterpart. And so many of us are tapped into the divine masculine's true emotions at this time, and I'm pretty sure that's what most of us were feeling over the weekend, was the heaviness of the heart chakra activation within the divine masculine collective. And I feel many of the divine feminines recently have been picking up on the masculine's desires along with the fear. And so I feel the feminine is being asked to find a place of calm, to find a place of center and peace this week, and to stay fully grounded in self-love. The more grounded in self-love you are at, divine feminine, the easier it will be to work with these energies. I also feel we're going to want to be mindful of the words that we are speaking into existence. I feel a lot of the masculines have been cut very deeply with that double-edged sword. I feel a lot of the karmics have been brashly calling out the masculine when it comes to their shortcomings. I kept being shown the Queen of Swords reversed, and I kept hearing the first cut is the deepest by, I believe it is Sheryl Crow. And so get ready for sensitivity to be on overdrive this week, more than usual. And with Mercury opposing Pluto, which I talked about in the daily message, This is where these karmic soulmates are finding our weak spots and pointing it out. And let's face it, guys, honesty freaking hurts. And I feel there's been a lot of damage in the masculine's life, especially when it comes to his self-esteem, in order to break down that tough exterior, to break down the lower ego. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are involved in this very distorted power struggle externally, and the feminines have been working through that power struggle internally, trying to find balance with the counterpart. And so a lot of the masculines are seeking power, control. They just want to prove that they're right, and this is why they've stayed stuck in these karmic contracts, to try and teach the divine feminine a lesson and to prove that they weren't wrong by going in the wrong direction. And so this is cutting the masculine to the core, is what I feel. And the karmic is trying to cause permanent long-term damage, and it is like this energy of bringing the masculine down to rock bottom, and it's creating this like under pressure energy. And I don't know who sings that song, but under pressure. And so all of these distorted perspectives are coming up surrounding the divine masculine, and we might easily be tapping into those distortions. So that's why you're going to want to stay grounded in your truth. You're going to want to stay grounded in self-love, divine feminine, because the masculine is dealing with all kinds of issues that are blowing up out of proportion. And we're going to be feeling that. So we really need to be aware of what energies are ours, which energies are the divine masculine, as he is dealing with this very distorted karmic soul contract, because there's all kinds of problems coming up in the masculine's life, being asked to find resolution. And so this feeling of being under pressure, it's feeling like anxiety, like time is running out, and time is never running out. So I think it's going to be a really good idea this week, divine feminine, to take a step back, to regather your thoughts, to regather your emotions, and to hold still in those very firm boundaries. Complete boundaries are going to be necessary, and we're going to have to stay strong holding on to our truth. I think that's going to be really important in the energies this week. And so this week for sure is going to bring all kinds of power struggles to the surface, whether it's internally or externally. And this is where we get to choose to step into our own power, that Leo energy, the strength card, harnessing our power. And so our vitality, our life force energy. And so I do think the energies are going to be a little bit watery, a little bit tricky to navigate this week. As above, so below, and as within, so without. And so we just kind of need to hold that calm and hold that center this week, divine feminine, because there is a lot of healing when it comes to this hurt. And a lot of this has been repeated throughout many lifetimes in order for us to break those karmic soul bonds. And so I think trust is an issue right now. I know a lot of the feminines do not trust the counterpart anymore for all of the lying, the cheating, the lack of communication. The trust was gone. And how do you rebuild after the trust has been ruptured within a relationship, I think, is where the feminine is being asked to reevaluate. Can trust be restored? Can that foundation be rebuilt? And is the masculine going to be brave enough to come forward in complete authenticity and honesty? And so all of these past issues are being brought to the surface once again for a deeper layer of understanding. And it is very unpleasant to do this, but we can't heal it if we're not willing to kind of look at it head on. And so the universe and all of these cosmic energies are pushing us to resolve this hurt once and for all, so we can move on, maybe in a new direction without the divine counterpart, or so we can move on and find resolution together. Because as long as these wounds keep festering and go unhealed, they're going to keep us locked in these repetitive, negative, recurring karmic cycles. And so get ready to forgive and forget. I don't think we'll ever forget what was done to us, but forgiveness truly is the solution. And when we clear all of this stuck bitterness, anger, resentment, and I'm even going to say hate, around all of these wounds, then we can finally release them once and for all, and we can forgive the situation. And so we do need to remember a lot of these masculines do all of this unconsciously. They're not awake, and I feel a lot of these masculines keep searching for something better, the next best shiny thing. And I think emotionally and energetically, the feminine has been feeling this, creating all kinds of triggers with the simplest things. And so it's not going to be easy. Forgiveness is not an easy process, and we go through many layers of the grieving stages in order to reach complete resolution and forgiveness. And so I think forgiveness really is going to be key when it comes to opening the heart to this love again, opening up to harmony, and coming back into a state of unity. And we can't get there if we're bitter, if we're revengeful, if we're resentful. And so all of this intensity is definitely building, especially with the sun joining in with that opposition to Pluto. And so a lot of opposition, a lot of triggering, especially when it comes to where we have been mistreated in the past in small and big ways. And so that was really coming up for me on the weekend. All of the negative relationships I've gone through, how every man has wronged me in a similar way, all of the abuses, and in essence, all of the distortion towards women in general within the collective. And so all of these feelings were boiling up inside of me on the weekend. And I had a huge emotional purge when it comes to all of these unresolved feelings and this deep feeling of not feeling supported on the journey, not feeling supported by family, by friends, and especially by my twin flame. And so I think this is kind of what's happening for many of us this week, is learning to embrace our own inner strength, our own inner lioness, our own inner power, so we can anchor into our own divinity, because the journey itself is about coming into wholeness with or without the counterpart. We do not need the counterpart externally to come into that complete wholeness and unity of self. And so it is about honoring the divine, God source energy, our purpose, our mission first and foremost. And the spiritual truth is life never just happens to us. We are always manifesting and counter-manifesting our reality. And so that is where the Gemini energy comes in, the polarization of the dark and the light, the good and the bad. And in essence, when we reach that resolution internally, when we come into alignment with that 0 point of polarity, non-polarity, that is when we can really begin to take action towards these new future timelines. We do have to reach a place of inner peace first. And so what do you want to invite into your life? What do you want to invite in, rather than feeding the fear and everything eluding us? And so I feel we all respond differently on this journey. But the more you can shift into that positivity, that positive thought process, the easier the energies will be to work with this week, because I do think it's going to feel very challenging. We don't want to buy into fear or propaganda, and we don't want to allow any outside karmic influences to dictate what it is we're here to do. We have to take charge of our destiny. And so the journey is perfectly imperfect, to say the least. And I feel right now a lot of the divine masculines are being confronted with their own inner darkness. And there is a lot being mirror reflected back to them when it comes to their fears, their deep-seated insecurities. And I think a lot of the masculines are very jealous and spiteful right now. And they're really showing their not-so-nice side within whatever relationship contracts they are trying to close out. And I do feel there is a lot of jealousy towards the feminine, because many of the feminines have walked away completely. And so I want to remind you, we don't want to keep torturing ourselves by continually looking back at the past. You don't want to torture yourself by spying on the divine masculine and figuring out what he's up to, because that's only going to create more triggers. And I feel the masculine is feeling internally tortured at this time, dealing with all of these impossible high standards they've set on themselves. And a lot of them are not feeling good enough or worthy of the divine feminine's love, which is causing them to deflect and to run. And nobody runs faster than somebody that doesn't want to deal with their problems. And so we can't keep running from our problems, because they eventually always catch up with us. And so I think the masculine is having a difficult time embracing these changes and accepting these challenges and accepting himself exactly as he is. And so I think the feminine is really growing. We've really grown throughout this process, and we are at this pivot point where we are finally ready to experience true love of self, which means we're on the precipice of preparing for that true love experience with our twin flame. And I feel this is the week of the crowning with the Leo energy, not only with Mercury moving into Leo on the 19th, we got Chiron going retrograde, which is really asking us to heal the wound, to take that proverbial Band-Aid off once and for all, and to face what we've not been willing to look at head on. And so the energy is redirecting all of us with our goals, with our ambitions, and we're all trying to summon our inner strength, our inner power, to claim what it is that we truly deserve, to claim our art, and to receive our desires, rather than running, sitting on the sidelines and letting life happen to us. And so Leo energy is very powerful. So you're going to want to be mindful of where Leo falls on your planet side and where Leo falls in your housing side, because this is where we're being asked to harness our power. It is heart-centered energy. It is bravery. It is strength. It is finding that inner lion or that inner lioness to deal with all of these issues, especially when it comes to ego and drama. And so we're going to want to keep ourselves in check this week, because Leo can be very aggressive if they're in that egomaniac energy. And so not every fight is worth fighting. And we are being asked to channel this energy correctly so we can infuse our life with passion again. So it really is time for the divine feminine to shine that light brighter than ever in the energies this week. And we're all being asked to expand, especially when the sun moves into Leo on the 22nd. And so it's time to shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, is what I heard. And so get ready to embrace new social interactions, to find that sense of creativity again, and to embrace some burning new romantic passions, stepping into some new projects, some new entrepreneurial endeavors, especially over the coming month while we progress throughout Leo season. So happy birthday to my Leo collective out there. Leo too has a downside. Leo likes to be the center of attention, and they like to get what they want. And so, you know, they like to be adorned and adored. And so we're not here to seek all of that outside validation. We are just here to shine that light. And so get ready to face problems where you want to be the center of attention and you want everybody's adoration for personal gain or for self-validation. And so we're not here to seek that egoic, arrogant validation, and that's going to become a problem if you're in the low vibration of Leo energy. And so Sun and Leo can make us feel like life's a great big party, and let's face it, we're not here to just keep partying. We have to deal these issues. We have to deal with these issues, especially when it comes to alcohol, drug abuse, and overindulgences, because we cannot keep masking all of these issues through addictions. And so get ready for things to quickly leave your life as we enter into Leo season, because it is about heart. It is about heart and our soul's purpose. And so with Mercury trine Jupiter nearing the end of the week, this is all about surprise, and things, you know, shifting unexpectedly, surprise endings, surprise beginnings. And luck, Lady Luck is what I heard. Lady Luck is on your side. And so I think we're kind of just going to need to flow with whatever keeps cropping up to be dealt with in the energies this week. And we're going to want to keep an open mind, because I do think things are positively shifting. Get ready to maybe receive news or a surprise message from your counterpart. And get ready to realize what it is you need to do or take action towards in order to reach long-term goals. And so I do feel this is a week of possibly reconnecting on a whole new level, an opportunity to really go deep and resolve these issues at the core once and for all. And I feel the masculine is in this like dark, dark tunnel, trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. And all of these deep emotions are being asked to clear the damage, to remove all of these blocks, especially around fear or any holdups or hang-ups when it comes to these past karmic deep emotions that are opening up. And so I think there's a possibility for a new beginning between you and your counterpart this week, but the masculine is going to have to be brave enough to release this wall around his heart and to open up to love. And so when the feminine opens up the door to receiving and shines that light, the masculine will be brave enough to come towards the light and reconnect with you. So let's jump in with some cards. We're going to see what needs to come through in the energies for the week ahead. We will dig into the divine masculine first, gossip, advocate. So I think that karmic entity is thriving on betraying the masculine right now. I think she's just glorified with, you know, handing out all of this secret information, trying to humiliate the masculine and the energies. And this is all because the masculine did not honor this connection. He did not come forward with trustworthy energies. And this is really awakening how the masculine has lacked consideration for the people in his life. So there's a lot of gossip. There's likely a lot of slander, defamation of character, humiliation. I did channel into the masculine's energy, and I will do a separate video for that, a detailed video of the current energies, and then we get the advocate. So there's a need to speak up. There is a need for the masculine to come forward with action, to show compassion for the divine feminine. And I feel the masculine is dealing with all kinds of negative influences because all they cared about committing to was personal gain, which I feel is going to be their detriment in the energies this week. So we're going to see what other energies need to come through for the masculine, the lover. So this is like the crossroads. Do you want that obsessive, self-destructive devotion from the karmic entity? Or do you want great unbridled appreciation and passion and devotion from the divine feminine? So it is needing to choose between karmic love and unconditional love. Wow, I think that's the only energy coming out for the masculine, the lovers. And I think he's seeing red. So there's a lot of fear around stability, base chakra fear coming up, knowing that the time is now to make a decision. And the masculine really has no excuse anymore for how he has mistreated the divine feminine. And he's been posed as this person starving for attention, the martyr, I'm the victim, when really he was the one victimizing the divine feminine and the karmic as well. And so what goes around comes around. And I feel the masculine has tapped into these new dimensions, these higher dimensions of life, these higher dimensions of all of these timelines, definitely tapped into his emotional body beyond his five senses. And he's learning to be his own hero, to be the artist of his life. So it is like this blank canvas energy. The masculine has to choose. Do you want that fresh start? Do you want that blank canvas? It's going to require the masculine to be the hero of his own life and to stop playing the victim, to stop playing the martyr, because he's created this situation. And yeah, there's gossip and there's about to be an explosion in the masculine's life. I feel a lot of the masculines have been intoxicated, playing into alcohol and drug abuse, playing into a lot of destructive behaviors. And everything is crumbling around the masculine at this time. Gossip. They cannot keep playing into escapism tendencies because they are being asked to journey towards personal empowerment this week. And so they've been playing the victim. They've been pretending they were the one that was wronged when in essence they were the one that wronged the divine feminine. And so a lot of these masculines cannot handle any type of criticism or feedback. And they play into this deep form of self-pity. And they need to learn some personal boundaries is another message. And so they need to choose to stop being victimized. They are the ones victimizing themselves. They are the ones victimizing others. And they have been so overly reliant on the mechanical thought process that they've really dwindled all of this creative, practical energy when it comes to finding a resolution. And so they are facing some very hefty karmic emotional consequences for their lack of regard of what they have done towards the divine feminine. And they are facing divine judgment, without a doubt. And so I feel a lot of destructive criticism surrounding the masculine because of their criminal authority and their past life abuses. And there is a rebalancing. Justice is being served in the energies for the divine masculine for the week ahead. So let's take a look at what needs to come through for the feminine. I love it. More Libra energy, the Avenger and the Guide. And so the feminine does represent the true nature of the divine in her life and in everything she touches. She is a spiritual guide. She is a high priestess. And I feel stepping into imparting all of this spiritual, insightful wisdom. And then we get the Avenger. I feel there is a lot of anger coming up to the imbalances in this connection. And the feminine deeply desires the scales of justice to balance out, not only on behalf of herself, but on behalf of society. So a lot of the feminines are avenging the energies. So let's see, the Goddess, love it. So beautiful. So I feel as the feminine shines this light bright, it really exploits the nature of the karmic shadow feminine that the divine masculine has been connected with. That is so interesting. And teacher, love it. Bottom of the deck, healer. So the feminines really are stepping into their highest feminine expression in the energies this week. So where do you got Leo at? I'm a Leo North Node, Leo 6th house. And so stepping into that true karmic pathway, stepping into honoring your life force energy, your sensuality, expressing all of this wisdom, and it's exploiting the feminine for exactly who she is. And then I love it. The teacher energy, green, heart, teaching people how to live out of the heart space, which is really illuminating the manipulation and the abuse in the masculine's life and the karmic contract. And so destroying that for sure. And I feel I'm stepping into communicating our knowledge, our experiences, our skills, and our wisdom, and stepping into being that healer. And so a lot of these masculines have taken advantage of many people, not only the divine feminine, but the karmic. A lot of taking advantage of energy. And I feel as the feminine steps into her passion of service and heals her own mind, body, and soul, and comes into that holy trinity union of self, this is where the masculine is being pushed to transform this pain and to heal this pain when it comes to any inner child wounding with the mother wound. And so a lot of the masculines go towards a karmic feminine that mirror reflects to them the abandonment wound with their mother. And I feel they're deeply in need of the divine feminine's mothering nurturance at this time. And they are deeply in need of the divine feminine's unconditional love. And I feel the feminine is preparing to give birth to this new life. And the masculine can no longer keep blaming all of this dysfunction in his life on the karmic or the feminine or these childhood wounds anymore. And so this resistance to move towards forgiveness is really hindering progress on the journey. So forgiveness is coming up. I also feel a lot of the feminines have done another layer of inner child healing, which is awakening another layer of compassion for the people that we are connected with. And so this deep desire to serve others, when we can heal our own inner wounded child, we owe it to open up to teaching others the pathway of learning forgiveness. And so I feel a lot of the feminines are stepping into their mystic healing capabilities. The masculine is going through this delusional rapture at this time, disillusionment. And the feminine, I feel, is just reveling in this intimate union with her mission and the divine, and getting ready for that brand new beginning. So a lot of the feminines have fearlessly gone into these emotions, have felt them at the core, have released them. And I feel the masculine's denial of this emotional truth can no longer be hidden. The mask is coming off, and he is likely coming back begging for another chance. As he awakens to his own spiritual authority, I feel a lot of humility, a lot of confrontations. The masculine is barely surviving physically, is what I feel. And it's really showing this over-dependence on this comfort aspect. And so a lot of challenges for sure in the energies. The masculine has rejected the legitimacy of this true divine connection. And I feel there's a lot of anger coming forward when it comes to this peer pressure and this poor advice that he followed. And so we are preparing to affect real social change. It's Aquarian energy, the rebellion Aquarian energy. And I feel a lot of challenges when it comes to what no longer serves you and your inner needs. So we're going to dig in with some past life energies. Servant. A lot of these masculines have just been a faithful servant to the karmic energy. And I feel they've really lost their ability to stand in their true masculine authority. So let's see what else needs to come through on the divine masculine side. Greed. Without a doubt, a lot of these masculines were greedy, clinging to material possessions and thinking that these material possessions have held power over them. And so I feel an impaired. Okay, so there's that overindulgence and greed. And I think that's a big challenge this lifetime for many of the masculines, is this clinging to material possessions. And I feel a lot of the masculines are struggling with some illness when it comes to all of these limiting conditions, all of these impaired conditions. And this is stemming around a mother wound for sure. And so I feel a lot of these masculines didn't have a mother that demonstrated unconditional love, very controlling mother. And I feel right now the focus in the masculine's life is children. I think a lot of these masculines, their relationship with their children has been tainted, has been damaged within these karmic contracts. And this is part of their purpose in this present life, is to heal these family foundations. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are going into music as a form of healing. And I think we're receiving a lot of telepathic messages through songs. So pay attention to the energies that you're feeling and the vibration that comes through when you hear a certain song, because I feel a lot of the masculines are reaching out telepathically through music to the divine feminine. And they are definitely struggling with a lot of self-worth issues at this time. And possessions will never, ever give you self-worth is another message. So let's see what needs to come through on the divine feminine side with the past life debt, childless. So I feel that was a wound for myself on my own journey, was knowing that I did not have children with my counterpart in a past life. And so a lot of healing when it comes to not having children. I also feel a lot of these karmics are very angry because they've wanted to have a child with the divine masculine, and maybe they've not been able to conceive, or they've been dealing with fertility issues or impotency issues on the masculine's end. And so I feel a lot of the feminines have already learned the lesson of humility. Many of us go down first, and we embrace the fall first. And I feel as the feminine releases that lesson of humility, the masculine is kind of being forced to release his arrogancy. And to understand that we are all created as equals. So I feel this underlying anger, this death energy, especially when it comes to the lack of closure, that, you know, we've never really had that proper goodbye or ending. And I feel there's a lot of anger coming up when it comes to these past energies. But I feel a lot of the feminines are stepping into their truest form of expression. And we're not here to hold back our feelings. We're not here to hold back our emotions. We are here to own them and to liberate ourselves by releasing them and then finding our truest self-expression. And so I do feel death energy. I also feel secrets have been revealed. That secret that the masculine has held deep inside his heart towards the feminine has been revealed. And it's triggering a lot of anger from the karmic is what I'm feeling. So let's do some illumination oracle messages, making plans to embrace change. Beautiful. Virgo energy, and I feel Leo energy coming through. So we're going to dig into the masculine first. He's definitely facing all kinds of challenges, trying to regain control at this time. So we're going to dig into the divine masculine, and then we'll jump in with some tarot, guys. So there is a major karmic rebalancing taking place in the masculine's life. Judgment, karmic judgment, Libra. And he's facing obstacles and challenges because he's not been willing to come forward and fix what was broken. But he's spying on you, watching, not willing to fix what's broken, and he's about to hit a brick wall because he's been secretly hiding these emotions. And there's going to be an emotional outburst, and the masculine will be moving, likely getting kicked out in order for that release of his pride and his ego, because he's stuck. He's been stuck in this hurt, masking this pain, and unwilling to send a message to fix what's broken. And so I feel this huge disconnection in the masculine's life when it comes to these secrets coming out. And they're about to go through a major breakdown of their emotions is what I'm feeling. So we'll see what needs to come through on the divine feminine side. And I think you don't got to worry about a thing. The universe has a plan. And all you got to do is keep reading between the lines. You know exactly the messages that you are receiving. Your intuition is on point. So trust in the universe. Let the universe do its job, because change is coming. And the masculine has been withholding, closing out this cycle, playing into that double loyalty. But the change is here. And the masculine has never let go. And so major karmic lessons coming out of confusion, preparing to seize that new opportunity and to spend some time with you. So let's jump in with some tarot. We will use this deck today. We're going to dig into the masculine. Look at, well, he's feeling like a fool. He's feeling like a jackass as far as I'm concerned. He walked away from wish fulfillment. He didn't want to look at this magical opportunity. He's been missing the point all of this time, being distracted by all of these karmic influences, and he's very discontent, very bored, very dissatisfied, lost in his own inner world, about to get a wake-up call because he walked away from wish fulfillment. And he's been grieving. He's been confused. He's been deep in some hurt for sure, without a doubt. So we'll see what needs to come through on the masculine side. Ten of Swords. That final nail in the coffin. It's over. It's definitely over. It's the end of that karmic situation, that melodramatic situation with the drama queen. And I feel there will be relief, but the masculine kind of has to go deep into the sadness when it comes to ending all of these addictions. And he's hiding this. Hiding it with the moon. Fear, too. So your masculine could be a Pisces. Doesn't have to be dealing with the Queen of Cups, perhaps. A Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But there's a lot of fear about coming forward, getting this weight off of his shoulders. And so I feel there's been a lack of listening to his intuition and paying attention to the signs, but I feel the signs have been cautioning him for quite some time. And he is going through a major revelation, a major wake-up call, maybe realizing how he's been self-sacrificing with somebody that really hasn't been very loving. You know, he's not been taking good care of himself, dealing with somebody not taking care of him either. And I feel a breakdown of a whole family structure, friends leaving the masculine's life. And he's deep in some nostalgia when it comes to this committed partnership with you. Definitely grieving. Definitely feeling like a fool. Trying to find the hidden blessings, because I feel everything is crumbling. Nothing is turning out in the masculine's life like he anticipated. And he's going to need to forgive himself for the damage that was done. And he's ready, I feel, to embrace that inner child healing. And he's romanticizing about you. He wants to come forward and celebrate with you. He does want peace and prosperity in his life and contentment. But he needs to get himself unstuck out of this grieving if he wants this brand new emotional experience. And I feel he is definitely experiencing a crumbling of everything, losing all kinds of material security, financial security. I feel quite possibly total financial ruin. And maybe a lesson for this masculine is to learn how to reach out for help. And so I feel a job loss too in order to push the masculine into becoming self-employed. And so there's that Chiron energy. I think when Chiron goes retrograde, it's going to be an explosion, an awakening of all of these emotions, psychic abilities, spiritual insights when it comes to this twin soul union. And there will be a message sent, I believe, this week. A conversation will begin when it comes to forgiveness and ending all of these challenges, because that fiery Leo energy is saying it's time to be bold and courageous. The time is now to take action and to send that message. And he's definitely been watching you. But that third party is trying to keep him stuck in a foundation purely out of materialism and greed. And I feel I'm breaking free from that entrapment, breaking free. And he's definitely lacked confidence for sure, because he chose the wrong community, the wrong family, and there's fear about being responsible and accountable. So we're going to dig into the Divine Feminine's energy. And I'm going to use the Tarot of Dreams. So Page of Wands, Page of Cups. New, fresh energy, an apology coming. And I think the karmic is very jealous and envious because she knows you're getting everything that was taken from you returned. And so let's see what needs to come through. And there's that Five of Swords, winning at all costs. And I feel it is Venus energy, Aquarian energy. I think get ready for the masculine to finally release that burden. I also feel the feminines have consciously released the burden of the masculine's manipulative ways. And victory is yours. You are the high priestess, and you are about to come into some major blessings. And there's going to be the masculine rushing in for that brand new beginning. He's like, his passion is ready to explode. I think he's obsessed with coming forward and explaining why he played into all of that betraying energy. But you're getting a blessing. You've learned your lessons. You're coming into that gift, that blessing, and you know it. You've gone into the darkness, and you've owned all of the mysterious darkness from within, and you've transmuted that pain, and you have consciously released this past manipulation, this pain. You have healed from the pain. And victory is yours. You are expanding in the heart space, and that is bringing in an apology, a love offer, and you freaking know it. You already know. Your intuition is on point, Divine Feminine. So get ready to receive a blessing. Something about that buck full moon really shifted the energies, and there is a huge closing. This Leo season, this Lionsgate, something is coming full circle. Self-mastery. And the doorway opportunity for a new beginning. the union energy. The doorway is opening. The portal gateway is opening for a brand new beginning. It's going to require a clean slate, and the masculine's going to have to leave behind everything he's built in that karmic contract for that missed opportunity. And that's exactly what I felt over the weekend, was a Kundalini activation through my chakra pathways, but it wasn't my energy. And so I feel a lot of the masculines have recently plummeted to rock bottom with this activation in order for movement forward. And I think around that Cancer, Capricorn, Polaris, the Cancer new moon and the Capricorn full moon, Pandora's box was opened. And there was no more ignoring looking at this. And I feel there was a lot in the mind space taking place when it comes to this new beginning, and the masculine preparing to come forward with that communication and that truth. So let's grab some twin flame oracle messages. Look at that wholeness on the top of the deck, balancing the feminine and masculine energies. And the bottom line is, divine feminine, you hold the key. You have to come into perfect alignment of your masculine and feminine energies in order to activate the blueprint within the masculine's life. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are becoming conscious of their infinite light, of this infinite connection. So we'll get a few more oracle messages. Self-love is going to be key, like I talked about, inner child healing. And so I think we're all just being asked to replenish our reserves at this time and to align with positivity. We're kind of being put on pause while the masculine goes into all of these unresolved childhood wounds and issues, and understanding the alchemy of our hearts combined together. And so our true mission is always and always will be unconditional love. So I think we're embracing a new level of esoteric study, and we are healing all of these family lineage patterns. Ancestral karma is being cleared. It's being focused in order to manifest our powers. So we are co-creating with the universe, and this gateway energy and these major cosmic shifts are connecting us with our twin souls. So have you created that space? Do you have room in your life for what it is that you desire to arrive? Because right now we're sifting through all kinds of heavy collective energies. We're learning and transmuting all of these outside limitations. And we're needing to trust. We're needing to listen to ourselves, to our soul's guidance. And you might want to clear the energy flow within your chakras so we can restore the innocence again. Forgiveness is going to be key, because ultimately there is eternal love between us. It is the ego that seeks to divide. So we will get a couple last messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. He's still closing out that cycle is what I feel, and he just doesn't even know what the heck to say to you at this point in time with all of the damage that has gone on. So what twin flame messages would the masculine like the feminine to be aware of? I guess he's stuck. He doesn't know how to feel anymore. So I guess the biggest question this week that we need to ask ourselves is it possible to forgive and forget? Because I know we've all got something that feels like it's missing, and I think it's the love on this heart. And the masculine knows he royally screwed things up, and he doesn't know how to fix it, but he's going to have to figure that out, because he's reminded of you constantly. He's being haunted by the past, and he's having to deal with these deep-seated emotions. And I think seeing you is going to be the final trigger point, because he's going through some drastic life changes, and he just doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say, because I think he's afraid that you will not forgive him, and that the past cannot be put to bed for that clean slate. So that's what I got for the week ahead, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading, check out the description box below. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.